This is PowerPoint Chapter 2, 2A, Part 2. We are picking up on Activity 2.07 on page 727. And we want to go to slide number 1, so we need to scroll up here and select the picture. And the handles appear around the picture, and the Picture Tools tab appears up here. On the Format tab, in the Size group, point to the crop arrow and flip over to page 728, and we've got crop to shape, and we've got a whole bunch of shapes that we can select here, and we're going to do under basic shapes, we're going to do oval. They've all got a little name that pops up if you pause the mouse, and so choose oval, and it crops our picture in the shape of an oval for us, and save your project. Now we're on page 728, activity 2.08, and we're going to put a text box in here. So let's go to Insert and Text Box, and we get this little sword-shaped cursor here, and we want it so that the ruler guides are positioned at the left half at 4.5, which would be right here, and there's a little dotted line up there so you can position it right where you want it to, and on the lower half at 1.5 inches. So on the lower half at 1.5 would be right here, and click one time to create a narrow rectangular box, and I'm on the wrong slide here. That's supposed to be, didn't change slides. We need to be on slide 5. So let's go insert a text box on slide 5 and go to 4.5 and 1.5, and so approximately right there. Click, we get a small text box, and we're going to type in if safety is questionable, and the text box expands, and select the text box, and there's two ways to do this. You can do the whole box, or you can just drag the mouse over it. We want everything to be 24, so let's go to our font size up here and set it to 24, and save your presentation. We're now on page 730, activity 2.09. and we're going to go slide number 5, which is where we are from the last activity, and we want to insert a shape, and we want a right arrow. So let's go to Insert and Shapes, and let's go to Block Arrows, and the first one here is a right arrow, and then we want to draw on, let me see, 0 on the horizontal ruler, so about right there, and on the vertical ruler 1.5 below, so we're going to be about right there, and click the mouse button to insert the arrow, and we want the height to be 0.5 and the width to be 2. So we've got it selected. Click on our Drawing Tools Format tab, and we want the height to be 0.5, and we want the width to be 2. And so now it should look pretty much like the bottom of page 730. We're going to put in another shape. Let's go to Insert, Shapes, and the shape that we want is an octagon, which is this one right here. So select it, and we want to be at about 2.5 on the vertical ruler, or the horizontal ruler, and on the vertical ruler at 1 inch. So 2.5 and 1 is about right there, and click, and then we're going to resize that so it's 2 by 2. So click on our format and make that 2 and make that 2. Whoops. And now our slide should look pretty much like the one on page 731, and we will save our presentation. Now we're in activity 2.10 at the bottom of page 731. Go to slide 5. We're still there, and we're going to add some text, and click the octagon and type the word stop. I guess they do it in caps. And it's automatically centered inside of the octagon. And let's select the text, and let's set the font size to 32, and then save our presentation. And now we're in activity 2.11 on the bottom of page 732. Slide number 5 again. Click on the text here, and go to our Format tab, and go to the Shape Styles gallery here, and click on the More button. And we'll go to the last row, the third one, which is Intense Effect, Red Accent 2. And select the octagon and select that, okay? And then we want to go and select the octagon shape, and we want to do the same thing. And I'm going to try Control Y here and see if it will repeat, and it does not. That's because I did a regular Shift Y. Let's do Control Y and see. And now I can't do it because the last thing I did was some text. So let's just go up here and we'll select that, and now we've got a red stop sign there as well. And then let's go to the arrow here, and we want last row, second one. So let's go to the last row, second one, and that's what we get. That didn't appear to change very much. And click in a blank part of the slide so that no objects are selected, and then like that. It should look like top of page 733. Now go to slide number 2. Click anywhere in the text to select the entire text box. And on the Format tab, in the Shape Styles group, click the Shape Fill button, which is this. And we want Blue Accent 1, which is this one right here. And in the Shape Styles group, click the Shape Outline button and point to Weight and select 3 points. So let's go to Shape Outline here and go to Weight, and let's do 3 points. And now we've got a thicker black line around the outside. Click any place in the paragraph and do Control A to select all of the text. That's pretty much a universal command. Right click in the selection to display the mini toolbar. And font color is going to be white background 1. So let's go to our font colors here, and white background 1. And save our presentation and flip over to page 734. And it should look pretty much like the picture on the top of page 734. Now we're going to apply some shape and picture effects. Go to slide number 2, which we're still on. And on the Format tab in the Shape Styles group, click on Shape Effects, and we get this drop-down list of choices, and we want Bevel. And point to each one, and you'll see there's a little screen tip for each one telling what it is. And we want the one called Art Deco, which is the last one down here. Click on it. Now let's go to slide number 1 and select the picture, and go to the Picture Format tab up here. And in the Picture Styles, we want the Picture Effects button, and we'll get a list that looks like this. And we want Soft Edges. And we want the last one, which is 50 points, which really is a pretty big soft edge there. It really blurs it a lot. And now we want to go to slide number 4, and we want to select the picture here, and we want to go to Picture Effects, and what we're going to do on this one is we're going to choose Glow, and in the second row we want the second one, which is pink or red, 8-point accent color 2, and save your presentation. And now we're on activity 2.13 on page 735. And we're going to duplicate some objects. We want to go to slide number 6. So let's click on slide 6 over here on the left and drag the picture up to the left so the upper left corner of the picture aligns with the upper left corner of the slide. So that would be right there. And hold down Control and press D. And that makes a duplicate picture. And I want to drag that down and to the right about 1 inch. So if I do that, it would be about, say, right there. And now we're on the top of page 736, and I want to do a Control D again, and now I've got a third picture, and we want to save it, so click on Save. You can also do a Control C and a Control V, which is something you already know from other applications. I'm not sure why they have you do it that way, but now we're on activity 2.14 on page 736 with slide 6 displayed. Position the pointer in a gray area of the slide just outside the upper left hand corner, so that would be up here, and click and drag till we've got all 3 pictures selected, and handles should appear around all of them. Now let's go to the Format tab, and let's go to the Arrange group over here, and we want to align them to the slide right there. And now any more alignments that we do will be aligned relative to the slide. And now on number 4 on page 737, on the Format tab in the Arrange group, click it again and choose Align Top. And now they're all aligned to the top. And so now we want to deselect by clicking off of the pictures. Take the third one and drag it over here so it goes right up to the edge. And then click the remaining 2 pictures, shift click the remaining 2 so that all the pictures are selected. And go to the Format tab, go to the Arrange group, and click the Align button and do Align Selected Objects. And now they're going to be aligned relative to each other. And what I want to do is I want to distribute them horizontally so they're all spread out, spaced equally across the top row. And all 3 of them are still selected, and now what I want to do is I want to give them some soft edges. So let's go to our picture effects here, go to soft edges, and we're going to do 50 points here, and now our picture looks like that. Now let's go to slide number 5. Hold down Shift and click all 3 of those things. So click, Shift click, Shift click. And you could also just have taken your mouse down here and just dragged around them like that, and that would have selected all 3 of them as well. And with all of them selected, click the Align button, go to the Format tab here, click on the Align button again. And we want to make sure it's Align Objects, and so they'll be aligned relative to one another. And then click Align Middle, and then distribute horizontally. So let's do Align Middle, and now they're all aligned so that their middles are all the same. And then we want to do distribute horizontally, and that's what we get. And now it wants us to view the slideshow. If we go down here and click on our slideshow button, now that starts on the current slide, and so there's two ways to do this here. You can just make the current slide the first one and then go click on this. And I'm just going to hit page down, or the down arrow key, or the right arrow key, or the space bar. Any one of those will work. Actually, N works as well for next. And clicking on the mouse or doing the mouse scroll wheel will also work. And we're at the end of our show. And now we're going to skip the header and footer part. You know how to do that. And we're also not going to do the document properties. And we're not going to print anything. So that takes us to the end of project 2A.